bad bitches singing on my songs like a prayer. I'm a super bad bitch, and I only hang around with other bad chicks.
Hey, what's up with my tops, bottoms, and girls of the world? Kenneth here, and I am back with another video. And this is to follow up specifically after my leaving YouTube video or whatever. And it's to go hand in hand with a question that I get a lot. I get a lot of questions about self-confidence and accepting yourself and things like that, because I think I've always given off the sense of like a sense of self-confidence. No matter what like issues that I would be dealing with or whatever, I always gave a clear indication of self-confidence, okay? And not only is that something that was embedded in me, like from like if anything was embedded in me, confidence was embedded in me, girl, okay? Also, just being like the type of person that I am, being a non-binary, gender fluid individual or whatever, anybody could take from this, though, anybody that seems or thinks that they lack a sense of self-acceptance or self-confidence. And I really just want to come make this video because I really wanted to tell you guys like ways you can have more of a sense of self-confidence, or ways you could build confidence, because I personally feel like confidence can be learned. Confidence can be learned. Self-acceptance can be learned. I know there's people out there that say that it can't, but when I look, I'm like, everything can be learned, girl. When you have pageant girls or whatever that's practicing for pageants or whatever, they're practicing confidence to get the confidence to do everything that they do, that they need to do with stage and all those type of things, okay? Before I get like deep into this video, I want to talk about shadow work, and it's nothing scary, because I know people hear shadow work and they're like, oh, no, it's nothing scary. And I also, before I get to talking about shadow work and self-confidence and self-acceptance, because they do go hand in hand, I also want to say thank you guys. I have received so many messages over the this past weekend. I've received so many messages, bitch, that I had went and I uninstalled Twitter and Instagram, and I was like, I just need a break for the weekend. And I had to reinstall it because I got like sponsored stuff that's due this week and things like that I have to post. But I was like, girl, I had to take a break because the tweets, the messages, the comments on the leaving YouTube, I said, oh my God, girl, I almost went crazy. And it was a good crazy because I was so overwhelmed. Girl, I was overwhelmed. But I want to thank y'all, because y'all really, like, y'all touched my heart and I touched y'all heart. It was just an exchange of energy and it was just really beautiful. And I just want to say thank y'all, because girl, on to shadow work. So everyone has a shadow. A shadow is the part of yourself that you don't accept, that you don't see fit to society, etc., etc., etc. There's so many different meanings and there's so many ways you can interpret shadow work and just your shadow period or whatever. It's those parts of yourself that you don't accept, okay? I'm gonna list a slew of videos, like 3 different videos down below if y'all are interested in watching things about shadow work. I promise you it's nothing scary at all, because it sounds a little scary. It's not scary. At all. It's not scary. It could be scary mentally, kinda, I do have to admit, because once you start the work or once you try to do like the shadow work and things like that, it gets a little scary because you start surprising yourself, okay? But I feel like a huge part of self-acceptance and self-confidence is accepting yourself fully, and that includes your shadow. So I will list those videos down below. I really hope they help y'all out. I'll come back in like next year sometimes and talk about my shadow work and things that I've done, because I've had completely different experiences from the videos I'm listing down below. Along with having different experiences, I've taken different methods, etc. I'll come back and talk more as I'm getting experience, even more experience in the things. But I do have to say that those videos help me out a lot also. Like, those videos be keeping, the videos I list down below have kept me a little sane with a few aspects of my life. So self-acceptance and confidence. These things go hand in hand, in my humble opinion. These things go hand in hand, like, period. And there's a few things you could do to accept yourself just a little bit more. Before we talk about the different things that you need to know when it comes to self-confidence and self-acceptance, I'll talk about my journey a little bit with self-acceptance and things like that. So like I was saying in the beginning of the video, it's something that has definitely been embedded in me. If my mother didn't embed anything in me, it was self-confidence, girl, okay? That was something that I thank her for. Self-confidence and the fact that I'm like semi-cute, okay? So growing up for me was interesting because I grew up gay, black, and a male in the South. Okay, and being black, gay, and a male in the South, you can imagine how I was ridiculed from peers, how I was ridiculed from like older adults and stuff like that, because especially when I was growing up, being gay and things like that, it was just not as accepted as it is now. It wasn't as accepted as it is now. So if I ever had a lack of self-esteem or a lack of like confidence or whatever, it came from me always being ridiculed and always being picked on or something like that. Not that I was like picked on, I didn't have no bully and nothing like that, but I did hear comments frequently, especially about my sexual orientation or just my life in general, how I acted, how I carried myself, etc., etc. Along the way, I realized a lot of things though. Started with number one, I realized that people are not perfect. When you realize that no one is perfect, that's where self-acceptance and the confidence enters, okay? Because nobody on this God green earth is perfect, girl. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody knows what perfect is or whatever. We don't know what perfect, you know, we know human beings that get close to, you know, perfect, you know, Beyonce, just playing around, of course. But you get what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what perfect is. Nobody is perfect. Everybody is flawed. If you have been around since the start of my channel, the HeFlawless, even though that's about to change soon, that came from being flawless because I am flawed, not because I am flawless. You get what I'm saying? That says enough on its own. Everybody is flawed, and once you learn how to accept your flaws and once you realize that everybody is flawed, you then get a sense of self-acceptance, because you're like, oh, well, I guess, you know, people make fun of me for this reason and this reason and this reason, but nobody else is perfect, bitch, so let me just do me. Literally, nobody is perfect. When people lack these things, self-acceptance and confidence, it's usually due to them either one, always putting themselves in comparison with other people, or two, in my case, they simply want to be accepted because they was never accepted growing up. I was never accepted, bitch. The thing about me though is that I knew me not being accepted growing up, like in the towns and shit like that or whatever, like what I mean being me, not being like fully accepted, even though I grew up in a more gentle environment, because like I said, I didn't have no bullies or nothing like that. Eventually, once people seen that I wasn't changing, people just got used to it, okay? Like, especially because I come from a smaller town, nobody was really tripping no more. But growing up in middle school and elementary school, especially in elementary school and middle school, I got into fights because people would pick at me for being me, like, period. But once you just stand in your ground, because I realized at an earlier age, around 9th grade, that nobody is perfect and you just gotta do you. Once you realize that, girl, nobody can tell you absolutely, and no one can tell you shit. No one can tell you shit at all, girl. People will either reject you or accept you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. If they reject you, that's not your problem. Go hang out with the people that do accept you. If they reject you, that's not your deal. That's not you. That's just not, that means that was not meant to be. So let me go find some people that do accept me for who I am. Hence why part of the reason I probably started a YouTube channel, girl. YouTube, girl, people exist, people out there that accept me, and I found them people. They accept me, girl. Yes, they do. Like, literally, it's okay if a bitch don't like you. It is okay if somebody don't like you. But we're talking about self-acceptance, so let's not talk about other people accepting you, okay? I also strongly believe when you lack self-acceptance and confidence, it comes from wanting to be liked by everybody. But you have to realize, girl, everybody ain't gonna like you. Everybody does not like my ass. It's actually a lot of people that do not like me. You would be surprised by the amount of people that don't like me. But guess what? Because I give off, like, I don't care what you have to say, nobody says anything. Because you can't say anything to somebody that accepts themselves, period. And if you do say something to somebody that accepts themselves, you look like a bully. You look like the big bad wolf, and don't nobody want to look like the big bad wolf. Unless you just an evil human being out there, we steer away from those. We steer away from the evil bitches. Evil bitches, no. But unless you just an evil ass bitch, you don't want to look like the big bad wolf. Don't nobody want to look like that. Unless you got some bad juju, some bad spirit or whatever. Don't nobody want to look like the big bad wolf. So once you own your shit, once you own who you are, nobody can say anything. If you ever find yourself in a situation, because I find myself in situations all the time where people want to come at my neck and stuff, the first thing I say is, are you perfect? Period. Just leave it right there, girl. I'ma drop the ball right there. Are you perfect? That's the best clap back you could give a bitch, unless they like hit you or something. Because if somebody hit you or something like that, girl, we gotta fight. I'm sorry, line that shit up, girl. I don't fight no more, but I got shooters. I got, bitch, pow pow, pow pow. Bitch, I got shooters. Pow pow. Accept yourself if you big, accept yourself if you too skinny. Accept yourself for who you are. Look in the mirror and accept that bitch in the mirror. Which leads me to another thing, the mask. You have to know that you are not a mask, which is why I was talking about shadow work and things like that, because a lot of the times people, we as human beings, we put on this mask. We put on different masks. We put on a mask for what we think is acceptable. Even now, I got a whole mask on, literally, girl, you know, I mean, it's a lighter beat today, but it's a mask, you know. But I got a whole mask on, girl. I'm in front of this camera acting. I'm not usually talking this loud, bitch. No, girl, I'm usually talking like this, and y'all probably would enjoy it if I talk like this, like more. Like if I talk like this more, I'm pretty sure people would enjoy it. But we get that with, you know, the new brand. We'll get that with the new brand, okay? But like I was saying, you have to know that you are not your mask. And once you know that you are not your mask, even though you do unfortunately have to put yourself in different masks, especially in places like the workplace and things like that, because the workplace may be a place where you're not fully accepted to be just who you are 100%. Even though we're moving in better times where more people are working for themselves, more people are like in self-owned businesses and shit like that, where people fully accept them, even though we are moving in those times, unfortunately, people do have to go in a workplace where they do have to, you know, put on a mask. But you have to know that you are not your mask. You are you. No one else is like you. That mask is something that I believe that we build over time. We definitely build a mask over time, and we use the mask as a defense mechanism a lot of the times also. But like I just said, it's okay to be you. Drop the mask. Or if you have to use a mask, know that you are not your mask. Think about, why I gotta put this mask on? You know, like, think about it. Think about it for like 10 minutes. Why do I have to put this mask on? And then you get down to why you gotta put the mask on, you be like, oh, okay. So me still accepted, just not here. Oh, okay. A lot of the times people feel to need to put a mask on also because they feel like they're too different or something like that. But in my head, a lot, especially for younger people, I'm like of an age now where shit just really don't matter no more. You know, I'm about to be 25 next year. Certain things just really don't matter to me. So I'm just gonna accept myself, period. Because at the end of the day, you came in this world out your mama vagina alone, unless you a twin or something. You came in the world alone, girl. So, and you go leave this piece alone, okay? I mean, you might have your spirit guides and universe and all these, yeah, and blah, blah, but you came in the world alone, girl. So do you. Embrace you. You are special for a reason. And I think people should spend more time embracing those things that make them different. I've embraced everything that makes me different, and I just can't shake it. Because you can't shake it, because when you are you, you are specially designed. You being a specially designed human being, there's only one you, baby. There's only one you. There may be a bitch that try to copy you. There may be a bitch down the street that looks a little bit like you. There may be a bitch in another state that looks just a little like you. But guess what? You are you. That person still does not withhold all of the qualities that you hold within inside yourself. If it was not for my confidence and my self-acceptance, I would have folded a long time ago. A long time ago, baby. Ooh, a long time ago, I would have folded. I would have big bank played little bank. That's not the words I was looking for. Accept all of your flaws, embrace them. And when I say embrace, embrace all of your flaws or anything that makes you different. 8 times out of 10, what makes you different is the reason why you lack self-acceptance or a sense of self-confidence. I'm gonna say that one more time. 8 times out of 10, what makes you different, can I get a preacher, please? What makes you different is probably the reason why you lack self-acceptance or a sense of self-confidence. There is no reason to blend in with the crowd. Blending in with the crowd is boring. Be an individual. Being an individual has gotten me this far. Being an individual is what takes you this far. Don't feel the need to try to fit into any community that's not accepting you. And that's on period. I had to learn that with the beauty community, because next year I'm chunking deuces to them bitches, girl. I'm chunking deuces, girl. Chris Brown. Deuces, bitch. You gotta go, baby, because I can't do it. I just can't. If y'all not accepting me, then I'm just not here. Girl, I don't care. I don't care that much. I'll go build my own community. Build your own community. I think if more people built their own communities instead of worried about trying to fit into a specific community, a lot more people would have a lot more self-acceptance and be a lot more confident, and that's just my 2 cents. But that 2 out of 10, it might be because you had just really damaging parents or something like that growing up or something like that. But let me tell you something about that, because that's another battle that I had to really conquer on my own, is the lack of acceptance for my parents. Imagine not being accepted by the people that you like grew up with, you know, the people that you came to this world. Mommy and daddy, and your mommy and daddy or something does not accept you. You have to accept yourself, baby. You have to realize that these people that don't accept you for who you are probably damaged in one way or another. They not perfect either. I think that's what happened in my case, is that I, like, during my childhood, at some point I realized that my mama and my dad, they a little loose in the head, girl, so I'm not looking for acceptance from them. Oh, no, ma'am. Does it affect me in ways? Like, for example, my mother would always tell me things about my voice and things growing up. So I don't like to sing, even though I think I have a decent voice. That's just my 2 cents. I want to leave you off with things that really helped me build a sense of these things, and that was journaling. Along with journaling, daily affirmations. Daily affirmations are probably the best thing that you can do for yourself, along with journaling. Journaling, tell yourself great things about yourself every day, and this helps build that self-confidence and self, acceptance. That's what that builds, okay?